It's been 595 days since the deaths of Maggie and Paul Murdaugh, and today starts the trial of the century for the man indicted in their murders. This is new video of Alex Murdaugh arriving at the Charleston County Courthouse earlier today, where jury selection began. Now let's break down how we got to this point. 52-year-old Maggie Murdaugh and her 22-year-old son Paul were shot and killed June 7th, 2021. That was at the family's Charleston County property. Flash forward to more than a year later, Alex Murdaugh was indicted on 2 counts of murder in July 2022. Last month, the AG's office announced it would not seek the death penalty, bringing us to today, day 1 of jury selection. Our Tara Jabor will be working around the clock in Walterboro covering this trial, and she joins us now live from the Charleston County Courthouse. Tara?
Katie, day 1 of this trial is almost over. Right now, they are still inside working on this case, working on jury selection. Now, earlier this morning, the judge asked a group of about 50 jurors if they had heard of this Murdaugh case, and every single person stood up. We know this trial is going to draw national attention, but first, let's talk about where we are. Walterboro, South Carolina. About 5,300 people live in Walterboro. It's about an hour from Charleston and Savannah, and now the city is being consumed by this murder trial. People call Walterboro the front porch of the Lowcountry, and the mayor says that slogan describes this place perfectly. A front porch is where you welcome people, and it's where you invite people to socialize and relax, and that's what they aim to do here. A typical Monday in Walterboro is quiet and quaint. Today, quite the opposite. Downtown, busy and packed with people and attention.
Of course, having a trial like this here is a negative to start with. It is a serious business that's being dealt with here, but it was coming here, and so we in Walterboro, we just wanted to do the best job we could.
This is not known for a particular Walterboro Day. This the first big case I ever known. I was born. I'm 57 years old, and I never seen nothing like this ever.
We spoke to a shop owner on Main Street. Jessica owns the boutique called Twig. She says she'll try to make the most of her business and welcoming people to her city during this serious time. Now, our investigative reporter Ann Emerson and former South Carolina attorney Charlie Condon are inside of the courtroom, and they've been there all day. Their analysis of jury selection tonight at 6.
Exclusive to ABC News 4 and the Sinclair Broadcasting, the former South Carolina Attorney General Charlie Condon. Thank you so much for being there with me. What an incredible day. Tell me.
It's been a privilege to be in that courtroom. Trial of the century. You've got just such interesting persons involved, lots of great legal talent. It's really well organized. I must say I've been really impressed with Clerk of Court Becky Hill, how this has been a super well organized jury selection process. We've had hundreds of people go through. Jeopardy will attach, in my opinion, this week to this defendant. This trial will get underway sooner than later, and we'll have the trial of the century starting right here in Walterboro, South Carolina.
Well, and Charlie, it's just been incredible to watch how they've just been going through this questionnaire, and some of the things that they were talking to us about that we thought that they would be hitting pretty hard was how much media consumption have you actually had? What did you think about that?
I was impressed with a number of aspects of this. Number one were the number of jurors that had heard about it. You would expect that. I was a little bit surprised, though. There were, particularly in the last panel, there was something like 8 jurors that said they knew nothing about this case, which surprised me.
Right. Everybody, you would think almost everybody, especially around here, is going to know the name Alex Murdaugh at this point.
But Judge Newman handled it very expertly. It wasn't whether you've heard something about it, and it really wasn't whether you formed an opinion. It's whether that opinion would stop you from being a fair and impartial juror. So he did a really good job of keeping the jurors as qualified as possible, moving it along.
Great.
And of course, if you didn't feel like you could be fair, you would be excused. So I think we're going to have a great jury panel. I think the process is going to be very, very fair to the defendant and the state. In this case, this trial will occur here in Walterboro. I believe we could start not tomorrow, but probably the next day. I think this jury might be selected late tomorrow afternoon, not sworn. And so we're underway.
Yeah, and as far as what you think is going to be happening when they do get underway, what do they have to do? What do they have to accomplish to get out and get us to trial?
Well, we've got some pretrial motions, some really important pretrial motions, and one of the main ones being whether or not this motive evidence will be allowed to introduce by the state. I'm hearing that there's an expectation that the state will prevail on at least some of this evidence. The blood spatter evidence that has been challenged by the state, by the defense, I do think that's going to be a problem for the state of South Carolina, and that may be excluded.
Well, you know, that is absolutely going to be one of the main things that they're going to be looking at tomorrow. And then they're able, once they get this jury, they're going to strike it, right? This is going to be a momentous moment, right?
You know, of course, when you're picking a jury, you're really not picking jurors that you want. You're keeping jurors that you don't particularly like off of this jury.
Well,
So
we'll be having this conversation more on our daily podcast that we're going to launch right away. And please stay with us on Unsolved South Carolina, the Murdaugh's Murder, Money, and Mystery. Thank you so much,
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Condon, for being here with us.
look forward to it.
Thanks.